it's Tegan. So, as some or most of you guys probably already know, I am a massive Supernatural fan. It has been a part of my life for many, many, many years, and it means the absolute world to me. If you clicked on this video, then you probably already know, but season 15 is unfortunately going to be its very last season, which I have cried many tears over because this show means the whole entire world to me, and I am not ready to say goodbye to all of these intricate plot lines and obviously all of these characters who I have grown to love over the last however many years, over the last 15 seasons. At the time that I am currently recording this, it is currently Wednesday, the 9th of October, and season 15 technically premieres on October 10th, so tomorrow, but because I'm in Australia, it won't actually premiere for me until about 10 a.m. on Friday on the 11th, so I have to wait just a little bit longer. I mean, it'll be at the same time for everyone else, but it's not actually premiering for me on the 10th. I am not gonna go too into talking about how much I'm gonna miss this show, because if I do, I will start sobbing again, because every time I think too much into it, I just start sobbing. I've been rewatching the entire show, and over the last couple of days I've watched about 40 episodes of it, and just the closer that it gets to the premiere date of the last season, I can't get through an episode without crying, so we're not going to talk about that. But basically what this video is going to be is I'm going to be running through some of the things that we already know that's going to happen in season 15 that I'm really super excited about, some questions that I want answered within the season, or some plot lines that weren't exactly completely followed through on, and then also just a few theories that I have for season 15 of where I see the show going. I am just going to jump straight into it. So first off, starting off with some of the things that we already know for season 15. So it's pretty much confirmed that the premiere of season 15 will follow directly after the events of season 14. Obviously at the end of season 14 we saw God bring back on the apocalypse and bring out all of the souls from hell, and Sam, Dean, and Cass were being completely surrounded by these zombie-like creatures. Jack was dead. Everything's just gone downhill for the boys, which, I mean, is kind of the theme for season finales. We know obviously that God is going to be the big bad in season 15. He kind of came back and Chuck sort of just messed everything up, and he is an awful human, and I loved Chuck, and I'm really mad at Supernatural for making me hate him, because now I despise him, and I'm really mad at Supernatural, at the writers and everybody, for making me hate him. We end with, in my opinion, one of the best season finales from Supernatural thus far. It was so intense. I watched it like 6 times in a row, like just that last 10 minutes, because I just could not, like, what the hell just happened. It was a very, very intense season finale, and we know God is gonna be the big bad obviously in season 15. So that's going to be very, very interesting. This is obviously the biggest sort of villain that they've taken on. I mean, it's literally God, the creator of everything. We've got some directors coming back that were characters on the show but are now directors as well. Richard Speight Jr. is coming back and directing a few episodes. Matt Cohen is coming on and directing at least 1 episode, which is going to be really, really cool. He played young John, and then obviously Richard Speight Jr. played Gabrielle, and so that's going to be really, really fun. And then Jensen Ackles, obviously Dean Winchester, is coming back and directing. I think it's gonna be episode 4 of the season, which is really, really cool. We know of a few very, very exciting characters that are making a return, which, oh my god, you guys have no idea how excited I am. The very first character that I want to mention, it was literally my favorite character out of all of Supernatural, and I never shut up about how much I miss him. You can ask anybody that follows me on Twitter, you can ask anybody at my family. I never shut up about how much I miss Kevin, and how absolutely horrified I was at the way that he died, and just how heartbroken I am every time I think about that. And then they brought him back for like 1 or 2 episodes in season 13, but they just blew him up and he did not deserve that. My child Kevin did not deserve any of that, and he's coming back. There was promo photos that were released from episode 2 and he is in them. I have no idea how that's gonna play into things. One of the theories I wanted to mention is that some people think that when his soul was released, it may have gone down to hell, so it was released when all of the souls came out of hell. Like, he may have been sent down the wrong way, so we'll have to see where they go with that and how he's actually coming back. But you guys have no idea how excited I am. I literally screamed when I saw the promo photos because Osric posted them, and I screamed. Not okay. We also know that Amara is returning, Ketch is coming back, Rowena is coming back, obviously Chuck is back, and Eileen is coming back, which is gonna be really, really cool. Another Eileen, she was killed by a hellhound, and we don't exactly know how that works, but seeing as she was destroyed by a hellhound and everybody that normally gets killed by a hellhound has sold their soul, so they go to hell. Maybe anybody that gets attacked by a hellhound goes to hell, so that's how she's back. But I absolutely adore Eileen, and her and Sam never got the chance to, you know, and I'm really excited to see her back. And another confirmed character that's coming back is Adam, who obviously we saw go into hell at the end of season 5, and hasn't been back. So he has been stuck down in the cage with Michael for 10 years, which in hell years is a very, very, very long time. So we'll have to see what the hell happens with that. Like, it's literally like thousands of years that he's been down in hell technically for him, because time moves differently down in hell, and so he's gonna be seriously messed up. And one of the things that I'm really excited to see what ends up happening is if Michael and him come out separately, or if they come out as one entity. Like, is Michael still inside Adam? It's gonna be really exciting to see where that leads, and I'm so excited that we're finally getting closure on the whole Adam thing, because, you know, Sam and Dean just sort of left their half brother down in hell, and I'm excited to see where that goes. We also know that finality is going to be a theme within this season, and Sam and Dean are going to start losing people that they love in a very final way. The showrunners have said that, and I'm really, really, really not prepared for that. I'll get more into how I think the season will end later, but I'm not prepared to see people I love die in a final way. Obviously, throughout the last 14 seasons, nobody in Supernatural ever really stays dead, and we know that. We've seen that time and time again. Nobody ever really dies on Supernatural. People are always coming back, and the fact that this is the 15th season means that when people die, it's most likely going to be for the last time. One thing that I'm really, really hoping doesn't happen within this season is that deaths of beloved characters that we have all grown to know and love aren't used for shock factor, that the deaths aren't used for shock factor. I really want all of the deaths to be meaningful. If a character that we really know and love dies, I don't want it to be just to, I don't know, move the plot along or just create like this shock factor thing, because like, I love these characters and they're a part of me, and I just don't want to see that happen. So I'm really, really hoping that when people die, because we know that they will, that when people die, it's in a meaningful way and everybody gets to process it well. Obviously, free will is going to be a theme within this season. We see Chuck come back and basically tell the boys that their entire lives has been run by him, that they really, like, he's had a play in everything that they've done. So they're gonna have a lot of turmoil of whether, Like, has any of our choices actually been ours? Are any of our choices moving forward actually ours? Or is it still all connected to Chuck? So I'm excited to see where that goes. The boys, Jared, Jensen, Misha, they all know how it ends, and obviously things could change, but they do have a set ending. And there's been a few things that both Jared and Jensen and Misha have all said about the ending. One of the things that Jensen said in an interview was that it took him quite a while to come to terms with the ending. It was really, really hard for him to digest, and it was really emotional for him to find out how it ended, which I'm really, really scared about. But he's also said that he thinks that, sorry, I'm just reading from my laptop. He's also said that he thinks that the majority of fans that have been with us on this journey is going to feel right and it's going to feel good. He thinks that it's a satisfying ending, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that is. I'm kind of looking forward to. I'm really, really scared. Jared, Jensen, and Misha have all said on multiple different occasions that they think that the boys are all gonna die at the end of the show, which is kind of terrifying, but I kind of think that's where it's gonna go too. But they all think that's where it should go. Obviously throughout the show, this entire theme of they're gonna die on the hunt, that's how all hunters go, is that they die on the hunt. So yeah. I really, really want Sam and Dean to be the forefront of this season, and also Cass. Cass in the past few seasons has been used for a lot of sort of filler plot scenes, where basically they say, oh, Cass has gone out to hunt this, but they don't actually show it. And I really want to see that, and especially because it's the final ever show. Like, there's only 20 episodes left until the show is finished, and so I really want to see all of our boys back together. Like, even though Cass came in season 4, he really is like, he's been there for 10 years. Like, he's up there with Sam and Dean, and I'm just really, like, hoping that we get to see them all three of them as the forefront of this season, which kind of might seem obvious seeing as they are the main characters, but the way that Supernatural has gone in the past, it always hasn't been that way. So with this final season, I'm really hoping that it is. I'm also really, really hoping that there's no filler episodes this season. I want everything to have a meaning. I want everything to be useful towards the plot. The one sort of side thing to that would be if they sort of go along the lines of, I don't know if you guys remember season 14 episode 4, where they kind of went back to the basics. It was like the Halloween episode, and it was a ghost hunt, and it was just them going and hunting the ghost, and it kind of went back to this basic like Supernatural season 1 to 3-ish, where it was just the boys on a hunt, and I really, really enjoyed that. So I'd love to see an episode like that thrown in there somewhere in the season if we possibly can, but I don't really know if we will, seeing as this is going to be a very giant season with a lot going on. So I don't know if we'll be able to see that, but my fingers are crossed. Obviously, one of the things that's going to have to be addressed in this season is Cass and the Empty. He obviously made the deal to bring Jack back from the Empty with the Shadow, and the Shadow basically said, I'm not going to take you right now, but the next time that you are all the way happy, I'm gonna come and find you, which means that Cass is probably gonna find peace, and then he's gonna be taken down to the Empty, and I'm not prepared for that. Really, really not prepared. I love Cass. I love him so much, and I'm really not prepared to see that. But obviously that will have to be addressed because that was a very big thing that happened in season 14, so we'll have to see where that goes. I really want to know if Sam and Dean are going to go to the people in heaven for help. Like, there's only like a few angels left at this point, and so they wouldn't be much of an army unless somebody is able to create new angels. But I really want Sam and Dean to maybe be able to go and get some hunters out of heaven and have some fun with them and hunt and have them help. That could be a cool way to bring back some characters that we haven't seen in a really, really long time, such as original Charlie. Obviously we have Otherworld Charlie, but I just want my original geeky Charlie back because she died so gruesomely and I miss her. Eileen and Joe I want back so bad. Ash, I miss them. They all died so gruesomely and I'm really sad. And then obviously Bobby and Rufus and Kevin and everybody else who is there. I'd love to see them be brought back at one point or another so that we can at least get just like one more scene with them. That's all I want. I just want like one more scene with them in the final season. And I feel like the way that they're heading with this season is with this feeling of nostalgia, especially with bringing back like the woman in white and like everybody that we saw at the end of season 14. I really think that they're going for that feeling of nostalgia, so I'm really hoping that we get to see that played out and that it actually is, that's what they're going for, which would be, I really want that in season 15. Like, I just want to cry over the past 15 years throughout this season. That's what I want. A couple of the plot things that I want answered that have not been answered yet, which I don't know if they will be addressed because I think the Supernatural writers want us to forget about them. But we've got Jesse, who we saw in season 5, who basically was Satan's, like, the most powerful being, and it was said that he could go and take down the host of heaven, and he sort of disappeared and we never saw him again. But now with Lucifer dead, will he come back? Does he still have his powers? I don't think so, but there was all this stuff with Lucifer. I don't know what's going on with that. That was sort of a plot point that sort of fell through, and I'd love to see something done with that. Also, we had Amy Pond's son in season 7. Amy Pond, who was Sam's friend from the past, became a vampire, I believe, and Dean killed her and her son watched, and he vowed that he would come back and kill Dean, get his revenge on Dean, but nothing ended up happening from that, and I kind of feel like that's a plot point that Supernatural writers want us to forget about, but I'd love to see something happen with that because we just never saw him again, but he vowed to take down Dean, so what's gonna happen? Another plot point that needs to be addressed is obviously Rowena's only way of death is through Sam. We see that in this season 12, I believe, or 13 is when we find that out, that Rowena can only die through Sam. And so I'd love to see what happens with that, and if Sam deliberately kills Rowena, like, does she turn against them, which at this point I don't really see happening, or is, like, one of like my theories is that Sam's going to create, something's gonna happen that Sam caused and Rowena's gonna die in it while trying to save Sam, and so it's not actually him deliberately trying to kill Rowena, but it was sort of in an accidental way. I'm really interested to see that, but obviously that also means that Rowena's probably gonna die for real in season 15, which I'm really not prepared to see. I don't want anybody to die, but I know people are gonna die. Another thing that I really want to see is the Wayward Sisters coming back. Obviously they tried to do sort of a spin-off series with the Wayward Sisters, which I am so upset never happened. I love all of the Wayward Sisters so much, and I'm really sad that a spin-off never happened, and I honestly don't see it happening in the future. But I'd love to see them come back. Obviously we had the Wayward Sisters episode in season 13, but nothing really happened after that. Like, we never really saw them after that. They were mentioned a few times, Jodie showed up a few times, but like, I'd love to see them all come back. I really want to see Claire again, and Donna, and then obviously Patience and Alex as well. I'd love to see them all come in and join forces with Sam, Dean, and Cass, and maybe Jack if he gets brought back. And honestly, seeing as the spinoff isn't gonna happen, we're probably going to see at least one of them die, and if the Supernaturals kill off Jodie, I will come for them. Like, they are not allowed to kill off Jodie. Like, she has been more of a mom figure to the boys than anybody else has, and like, including Mary, like, she has been there for them for so long, and I'm getting emotional thinking about the possibility of her dying because they're not allowed to do that. She's literally been there for the boys for so long, and they're not allowed to kill her off. She deserves this happy life. Oh my god, no, I'm not prepared for that to happen. So if the Supernatural writers kill her off, I am suing. Like, that's not allowed to happen. Obviously at the end of season 14, Jack is down in the empty and he's awake, which we know from when Cass was in the empty, they're not supposed to be awake, and Billy comes and says we have to talk. So I'm really interested to see what happens with Jack. Obviously he's not really dead, like, they didn't actually kill him off. I feel like maybe Jack's gonna join forces with Billy, and she's gonna reinstate his soul, and he's gonna come back. I feel like Jack's gonna be a really big character in this, and that he's gonna be the one that helps to defeat God. especially because if he gets his soul back, he'll be so powerful. But I also really want to see if Amara comes, because obviously she's coming back, but I really want to see if she takes the side of her brother or if she joins Team Free Will. One of them can't die without the other, because then it throws the entire everything out of order. So either they both have to die or neither of them have to die, but God's definitely gonna die, so that means Amara has to die as well. So I'm really interested to see which side she takes in the battle. I do feel like Death is going to be the one to come back and kill God though. I'm really hoping that it's the original Death as well. Like, as much as I love Billy, I'm really hoping that the original Death somehow comes back and kills God. Back in season 5, Death said, regardless, at the end I'll reap him too. He said that God has to die too. So I'm really excited and interested to see where that plot point goes as well, because that was in season 5. That was like foreshadowed 10 years ago, like what the actual hell. Another thing is that God mentioned that there are so many multiverses out there and that Sam and Dean are kind of the forefront of all of them. I'm really interested to see if we'll see any of those other multiverses, or if we'll visit any of them, or if some of them may join forces with Sam and Dean. Like, I'm just like really excited to see if anything goes forward with that, because God mentioned that, and obviously we knew that there were other universes, but nothing really ever ended up happening. I also want to see what ended up happening with the Dark Place and Kaya. Another thing that fell through, which I just remembered, is, do you remember Max and Alicia Baines, the sort of witch twin, hunter twins? Like, Max brought back Alicia from the dead and then we never saw them again, and I feel like that's another plot point that Supernatural writers want us to forget, but we never saw them again. So they're still out there somewhere, and I'd love to see them again, because they sort of just disappeared off the face of the planet, and I want to know what happened to them, especially with Alicia, because she's kind of not an actual human anymore. I really want to see if the world is going to find out about the supernatural. With all of the creatures from hell coming out, all hell is gonna break loose. If Sam and Dean make the decision to tell everybody, are we going to see Mary again? Is she actually dead, or is she going to come back for the final season? I'd really want to see that. I want to see Garth again because he has not been in the show for so long, and they've mentioned him a few times throughout the way, but I miss him and his werewolfness, and I just want him back. He was so incredible and I miss him. Which side will the angels take in this battle? Will they join God, or will they join Team Free Will? Because obviously God is the only one, really, except for maybe Jack, who can bring back new angels and create new angels. So I'd love to see which side of the war they take. They've always been back and forth, teaming up with Team Free Will, not teaming up with them, so I'd love to see where that goes. I really don't want to see Jack come back like bang right after the during the first episode, especially seeing as he just died. Although I love him and I want to see him back, I want to see a little bit more from that. And then pretty much finally, I've probably forgotten so many of the things that I wanted to talk about, but I want to talk about the ending, which makes me cry every time I think about it. But I don't see an ending where the boys survive. I genuinely do not. I think that throughout the show, we've seen multiple different cases where they've tried to get out of the hunter life and it just does not work out for them. So I have two theories of what will happen at the end of the show. I think either one, they will somehow find a way to get rid of all monsters. Maybe they will try to close the gates of hell again, or they'll find some other way. I don't want the show to end with Sam and Dean driving off into the sunset, going on another hunt. I don't want that, because like Jared said in an interview one time, if the boys are out hunting, I want to see it. I also don't think that the boys would be able to settle down and have a peaceful life if there were still monsters out there. We've seen that multiple times. It does not work. So either they get rid of all the monsters, which I don't see them doing, or we have a giant battle at the end, hopefully in the very last episode, because I really want to see all of Team Free Will together. At least I want to have Cass, Dean, and Sam in the final episode, in the final battle. I don't want another end game with Nat not being in the final battle. I want to see all three of our main characters together in the final battle. I need that in my life. And if Sam and Dean die during that, then that's gonna happen. I think obviously if one of them dies, the other one is going to find a way to bring them back. That's always been the case, which is why I think both of them are going to die. And I think that would be the most peaceful way for them to go out with the show, would be them both dying, because they would get to live in heaven with all of their friends and their family that they've lost along the way. And I feel like that would be the most peaceful way to go out with the show, is doing it that way. But yeah, I'm kind of scared, and obviously I don't want them to die. That's like, they're my favorite characters ever. I obviously don't want them to die, but I see that happening. I don't know if Cass will die. I feel like Jack might become the new god. We'll have to see. Hopefully if Sam and Dean are out there in heaven, he'll be able to come and visit them. And yeah, I feel like that's gonna be the way that it ends. And I'm really excited for all of the nostalgia throughout the season. I am not prepared to cry throughout the entire thing. Eric Kripke, the creator of the show, has signed off on the ending, so he thinks that it's a good ending for the show to have. And yeah, we'll just sort of have to see where it goes. I'm not ready. I'm really terrified. I'm really sad that the show's ending. I'm not prepared for my favorite show to end. I'm not prepared to say goodbye to my favorite characters. Okay, please excuse the absolute mess of a background and also my teary-eyed face right now. I just finished watching and crying throughout the entire 300th episode, and I wanted to just insert this little clip into this already very long video because I realized there was one thing that I forgot to mention while filming this video. One pretty important thing that I forgot to mention. Rewatching season 14 really brought my attention to it. I think I mentioned this already, but I've been going through and rewatching all of the seasons, and in the last 3 days I've watched about 40 episodes because I still had season 13 and 14 to go before season 15 premieres. So I had a lot to go, and I wanted to make sure that I had finished rewatching everything before season 15 premiere, because season 15 is a big season and I wanted to be caught up on everything. Like I said, just finished the 13th episode, which is the 300th episode, which is the one obviously where John comes back. Season 14 especially, obviously the entire Supernatural show, the entire show focuses on the idea of family. That is one of the main focuses throughout the entire show. It started with family. It follows these two brothers. It follows a chosen family rather than one that you were born with. Throughout the show, we saw Sam and Dean's family grow with obviously Castiel and Kevin and Charlie and Jack later on, and everybody in between. Obviously Jody and Donna and Ellen and Joe, and just everybody that's come along the way has all become this part of their chosen family, even if they lost quite a few of them along the way. Leaving the show for a little bit, even the actors, the entire cast is this big family, the SBN family, everybody's just like a really big family, and that's always been a really big part of the show, and that's something that I really want to see brought into season 15, which I'm pretty sure that it will be, seeing as it is the last season, and obviously the show has been based on family, it was built on family, and so I can't see them moving into season 15, moving into the 15th season and not focusing a lot on that. But I really want to see that. I really want to see more of their relationship with Jody, who has been like a mother figure to them since the very beginning, since they first met her. I really want to see more love actually expressed between Sam, Dean, and Cass. When, or I mean I guess if, but when Jack comes back, I really want to see more scenes with just the four of them, Sam, Dean, Cass, and Jack, because throughout season 14 we see quite a few scenes where it's the four of them and their family, and Sam, Dean, and Cass really became these three fathers to Jack, and we really saw that, and I really want to see that explored, even with just a few more scenes, like the scenes in like episodes, I think it's episode 7 maybe, where obviously Jack is dying and he decides that he wants to go out and just have a day living, and him and Dean go out and get to go fishing, and he talks about how he wants that to be his happiest memory, and they were really a family, and I really want to see more of that. And leading into the end of this show, I just want to see everybody brought together. I want to see the entire family together. I want to see everybody that we've grown to love all together. And I feel like the writers will do that. I feel like, especially knowing how big of a part of the show family is, and knowing how much family means, and that family means to all of the fans of the show, I definitely see them moving forward and having that be a large aspect of this. And I'm really super excited to see where that goes. Also, 2 characters that I forgot to mention that I really want to see come back are Crowley and Gabriel, who I don't know if they will come back. Gabriel might, Crowley probably won't, because I know that Mark Sheppard has talked about how he's done on the show, but I'd love to see him for at least one more scene because he was a massive part of the show. This was a really long add-in, but that was just something that I wanted to say because I don't know, it's crazy how much characters can grow to mean to somebody. Like, these are fictional characters who I'm sitting here having just cried over for however long. I really genuinely care about them, and I care about what happens to them, and I know so many other people relate to that. It's just crazy how much a fictional character can mean to you and how big a part of your life that a world can become. I love the aspect of family within the show, and I really hope to see that be a really big prominent part in season 15 because I think it deserves to be. So yeah, just wanted to add that in. Like I said, I've probably forgotten quite a few things that I wanted to mention, but I've been talking for a really long time, so I'm going to end this video here. I will probably make more videos throughout the season just because it's the last time. There's only 20 episodes left, so yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I am really looking forward to this last season. I'm excited to see where the show goes, and I'm really scared, but I feel like the show writers have the fans' best interest at heart. They know what we like, they know what we want. They've been with us for 15 years, so I really hope that it goes out with a satisfying ending and that it's something that will give us closure, and I'm really excited to see where that goes, and I'm really hoping that it's a good and satisfying ending. Yeah, so that's going to be about it for this video today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know down below any of your theories that you think will happen within the season, or any questions that you want answered that haven't been answered yet from past seasons. I would really absolutely love to know. You can give this video a big thumbs up, and you can hit that subscribe button down below if you'd like to see my videos in the future talking about Supernatural. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this video today. I'm Tegan, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!